Hey, Shannon, Steve of KMMA here. I'm at Krav Maga Martial Arts, the headquarters in Land O'Lakes, and it's a 6:45, and it's already been a great morning. Did all kinds of great prayer and meditation and planning this morning before I got to work. But I'm here now, and this morning I was thinking, well, first of all, about yesterday's video message that I did based on the quality that we're working on in my schools. We're working on power, and we're working on proper body alignment. And we used the body alignment as an analogy or as evidence of the importance of alignment with the proper people in our lives. And this morning, as I was here, it started with me thinking about how much I have enjoyed my new habit of being up at 6 o'clock every morning. I've been doing this now for about half a year. That mentors in my life challenged me and stimulated me that it would be a good idea to get up earlier. And so I've been getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning, get a lot of personal stuff done over coffee first thing in the morning. Again, things that I do before I go to work: prayer and affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, scribing. Sometimes I didn't get it all, didn't get the entire Miracle Morning done this morning yet because I was here very early. But it got me thinking on something else that came up in my classes over the last couple of days. So I'm teaching this class, and we're teaching on power and proper body alignment, but also the lesson plans that I was teaching. And this was true in we were working on sidekicks because they're going to be breaking some boards at the end of the month with a sidekick, and we were working on some kickboxing and just really fundamental striking skills and some other movement skills. That's the point of the story, is we're working on the fundamentals. And I could tell that some of the people were really turned off by the fact that we were working on the fundamentals. Let's face it, by definition, fundamentals are the things that we kind of already know, but as a result, we think we know. Those three most dangerous words, I know that. And we can be bored. It's less sexy, it's more boring. And so it got me thinking about the analogies to life again. And I started thinking about some of the decisions I made and habits that I've developed and actions that I'm taking and how that applies to all of us. So I want to share a few really important ones here. And the overarching concept is that these are the fundamentals. Well, the fundamentals, in fact, let me just say it up front. The fundamentals are that we have to make decisions, important decisions, about where we want to go and who we will be. Because then, based on these decisions and based on the whys of these decisions, we can decide what actions we need to take, which, by the way, is going to be one of the fundamentals I'm going to share later in this video that is so important. And then specifically, we have to do these actions long enough so that they become habits. So I would say that decision, action, habit, actually probably in that order, are probably three of the most important fundamentals towards our success in our life. In fact, I'm working on it now. I do not mean to allude that I am the master of these things in every area. There's areas of my life that I've done it and already been greatly successful, and there's area of my life that I'm in the middle of the process, which perhaps is another fundamental, and that is that we never stop. We're on to the next training evolution, as I say in my classes. As soon as you have mastered one important thing in your life, you go on and you master another, or at least work towards mastering another. The fundamental is the pursuit of excellence. Talking first about the decisions, I think that one of the most important things is that this is done in a deliberate fashion, and that it's done in a deliberate fashion so that the decisions we make actually propel us in the direction that we actually want to go. Yesterday I was doing Darren Hardy's Living Your Best Year Ever. I'm actually restarting a year with my son and a couple of teammates, accountability partners. We're beginning a year here, actually now. You can begin again anytime. There's a fundamental. And I was doing my year in review. And as I went through the year in review, I realized that, some of the areas, perhaps I had not made the progress I wanted, but there were some big, important ones where I had made really significant decisions and where I would invest my time and effort and energy that have made significant differences in our lives. And one of them I'll be transparent and share is really in my relationship with my sons, in being their father and making time for each of them and doing my part. Not that I haven't always tried my best to do that, but I made a really, really conscious decision to pour more in and to believe and have faith for them. And God stepped in mighty ways and So amazingly proud of my boys and what they're accomplishing. But I noticed that a lot of the victories on my list had to do with that, had to do with my sons, had to do with how proud I was of them, and had to do with progress with them. It made me realize that just making that one decision a while ago to be strategically out of balance and put a little more focus in that one area was a significantly important decision. And here's how it's relevant. I wasn't just trying to talk about myself here. Here's how it's so relevant, is that I could have continued to spend time focused on only professional, financial goals and other important areas of my life that I was working on, continued to profess that my boys were some of the most important people and relationships in my life. And unless we actually then devote the time and attention and effort and energy, because remember, hey, energy flows where focus goes, and that's the principle at play here. Is that when I really put a conscious effort on prioritizing my boys, man, they just started. They stepped up and started really doing incredible work in their own lives. So the first fundamental is making important decisions like these, because once again, I heard a mentor say it this way once. He said, if you want to see what's really important to a man, look at his checkbook and look at his calendar. So we got to make sure that our resources, time and money, reflect the things that we say are most important to us. We got to make decisions. Here's another important fundamental decision about how best to spend our time. And that'll take me into the action and habit steps. Because I have developed a new action called a power list. Got this from listening to a man named Andy Frisella. If you guys want to hear him on the internet, he's been very helpful to me. But the power list is making a list of 5 things every single day that you have to accomplish to win that day. And what it does, much like the Rhythm Register and Darren Hardy's Living Your Best Year Ever, whatever method you use, what this does is cause you to once you have decided on where you want to go and you've identified the action steps that can help you get there, then we need a method. For example, I'm going to talk about this 5 action a day power list that causes us to take the actions that will move us in the direction we want. And then, but here's the magic. Here's actually, if this was a shorter video today, if I had chosen to make this one of my little 3-minute quick principle videos, then the principle of this one would be consistency. Consistency creates the compound effect or the slight edge. 2 other great books on the subject. But what they basically say is that our daily actions, the small minutia daily actions that we take day in and day out, are moving us. The important thing to understand is that, of course, this can happen in a positive and negative way. We don't usually just make a change in our life quickly like this. It's not like you make the decision and the change is there. You make the decision and then you take consistent, violent action day after day after day for many, many days, maybe sometimes months and years, depending on what kind of goal we're talking about, and we get to reap the benefit of the rewards of the actions that we take. And but here's the third. This is why the third is a fundamental, because the truth is it can be difficult to be consistent. Being transparent again, I know that I have started a lot of great things that I have never finished. And I also know that in areas that I have defeated resistance with persistence, I have ultimately had victory. And I know more than anything that I'm still working on this. And I'm still working on this whole process that we're talking about right now, on decision, on action, and on creating habits. So the way that we're going to apply this power list, and I challenge anybody who's listened this far to actually do it with me, is I started yesterday, by the way, had my first win, accomplished all 5 of my big, hairy, audacious goals for the day. I misspoke, not goals, action steps, okay? Not goals, action steps. These have to be things that we know that we can do, but that take us slightly out of our comfort zone, because Obviously, if it's something that you're too comfortable with, then either it's already a positive habit in your life, or it's not significant enough. So we're probably going to be a little uncomfortable with the goals, but they're important goals. They're the critical task. I use the word goals again. They're the critical task that we have to do to move us in the direction of our goals. That's what I mean to say. So, and we have to put these goals down on a daily basis, and then actually just strike through them as we do them. And for every day, like I had yesterday, that you actually accomplish all 5 of your goals, you win the day. You put a W on your paper. And on a day you don't win all 5 goals, then you have to put it out. And I think that the magic of this power list, and like I said, this is new to me to do it in this specific way, but the magic of identifying key actions and then having a method to ensure that you do them every single day is twofold. Number one, it's only through consistent action that we take the dreams of our visualizations and we pull them down to earth and make them real. I totally believe in the power of visualization. I totally believe, for me personally, I totally believe that God comes alongside me and blesses my efforts and helps us. I believe that what we're able to do for people here at Krav Maga Martial Arts and through my business is a blessing of God, and I'm grateful for that. I also believe that God really, really rewards action, massive and consistent action. And the second part of the equation of the magic that I'm talking about is that it just has to be done long enough that eventually becomes habits, right? Because of course the areas of our life that we already have positive habits are already moving us in the direction that we want to go. Perhaps I'll go back and give this a martial arts analogy, a really, really simple one. And I'm going to take it from my kickboxing curriculum. Because if you want to go to the most fundamental of the fundamentals, like along with just basic stance, and it is keeping your hands up. And the truth of the matter is that on the way to becoming a black belt, while this is a simple concept, I can explain to you now, look, one of the important things we do is we keep our hands up. In fact, you should only have one of your hands away from your face at any given time. And it's because now I'm not talking Krav Maga because we did the 360 defense, and then you got both doing something. But I'm talking about in kickboxing. Your hands are up. If you throw a jab, your cross hand is still up defending you. If you throw a cross, your jab hand is still up defending you. And it's a simple concept, keep your hands up. Point of the story, for some reason, students still drop their hands. And in fact, my black belt instructors and I will remind a student hundreds of times on their passage to black belt of the importance of keeping their hands up. Actually, a great analogy. Because it's like this in every important fundamental, I think, of life in any area we want to go. Look, if it's in fitness, it's a simple concept to eat clean. It's a simple concept to do your workouts. It's a simple concept to drink more water. It's a simple concept to stay away from whatever your downfall foods are. If we're talking about in business, because I know that this is true in all businesses. It's true in our business of empowering lives through the martial arts, and it's true for doctors and lawyers and anybody who has to talk to anybody about anything. If you're providing a service, it's important that we reach out, that we're able to show people what we do. So for us, we have lots of different methods by which we get to introduce our products and services to our potential customers. And that's rather we're making outgoing phone calls. That's rather we are just talking to people and putting a card in their hand. That's rather like tomorrow night I'm going and teaching a free community event, self-defense seminar for the kids at Bridgeway Church in Wesley Chapel. Whatever it is, whether it's a school talk. I go into schools and I teach PE for the coaches, or I go and support people's events. And the point of the story is that I know that for my business, one of the critical tasks is I have to be able to show the magic of what we do. I have to be able to let people feel as good as they're going to feel when they take our classes. I got to be able to let kids and women and men know, wow, I can do this, so that they're empowered. There's a lot of things that I know that are part of the magic of my program. The critical task, though, is getting in front of the people. If I sit here in this dojo all day and I don't do that, or I don't have my team do that, we lots of schools have come and gone in the 19 years that we've been open. And that this can easily happen. So one of our critical tasks is getting known. The point of the story is that that's simple, but not always easy. Like every business has to make outgoing phone calls, and it's probably true for every person. They're not comfortable doing that. So that's the thing about critical tasks. They're important to your mission. They're important to the execution. They're important to moving you in the direction of your goals. They're not always easy. They're simple, not easy. So this is why we need a way of holding ourselves accountable, that we're going to, and by the way, it has to be that small list. It has to be 3 to 5 tasks per day, because you put too many things, you're not going to do them all, and that's not how confidence is built. There's another great example. When I'm teaching the martial arts and I am able to help the student, because I'm not going to say child or adult or anything here, because it's true of all of them. True, the delivery method is slightly different. The communication, of course, is different because people are coming to us at different places in their lives. But what I'm saying is still true. And what I'm saying that is still true is that when people begin to have little victories, when they begin to see themselves get better, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever ways, and they start having victory, they start developing confidence. So this is the reason why we want to give ourselves 3 to 5 critical actions, critical tasks that we have to accomplish every day, and then we got to do those. Give yourself a whole bunch and don't get them done. That's not building confidence. Give yourself the handful and get them done. And just like us, reminding the students to keep their hands up, reminding them to stay on the ball of the foot and rotate with their strike, reminding students of the fundamentals, having them do jab cross last night. You should have seen it. They're like, jab cross, we learned this as white belts. Going back to the fundamentals, doing the fundamentals better on a consistent and daily basis is fundamental. So, all right, look, I purposely made this a longer video. For anybody that's actually listened this long, I'll be transparent again. I've purposely kept my videos short so that they're easy and people want to watch them every day. But I'm going to start doing some of these too, because somebody I was talking to, because another one of my fundamentals, honestly, is that I am constantly sharpening the sword. I'm constantly talking to people that may know more than I know in certain areas of life or business. And this particular individual has been very successful with his business, and specifically on using YouTube. And he told me, he said, you need longer videos too. He said, because watch time counts, and you need some videos that people can watch all the way through. And he said, like in the 20, 30 minute range. I've never really done the videos that long. I'll probably have fun with it. I'll probably do some instructional videos where we go out there and maybe actually teach a class or something as well. We'll see. But for today, as I do get to the summary of the actionable takeaways in this video, I want to remind you that the first thing I do is make decision, and specifically, the specific challenge I'm going to give today is make decision in what areas of your life are most important to you, so that you can set goals that move you in the direction of those areas that actually reflect the things that you call the most important. And then identify the actions that have to be taken on a regular basis to create momentum, to create belief, to create power in these particular areas that you want to move forward in. And then do them long enough so that they become habits. So you do this action step every single day. You start stringing together W's, and at some point, one of those action steps on there has become a habit, and it's now easy. It's not outside your comfort zone anymore. Now you can take it off and you can put something else on. Because the secret to this, the secret sauce to winning that we're working on together, because again, I don't profess to be done. Actually, I'm not sure anybody is, by the way. If they are, then by definition, they don't understand the process of constant and never-ending improvement. So what we're going to do with this process, besides accomplishing some great goals, is also establish a new foundational and fundamental habit of our own, which is the habit of winning and the habit of constant and never-ending improvement through consistent and massive action. And we'll do this through decision, taking actions, developing habits, and then putting new uncomfortable actions on our power list to replace the ones that have already become positive habits. So super fantastic. If you've actually listened to this far, first of all, thank you for investing the time. Because I know that one of the things, by the way, one more more little meditation I'll drop upon this video. I know that one of the things that keeps most of us from doing what we need to do to be who we need to be and accomplish what we want to accomplish is time, and particularly the illusion that we don't have enough of it. This, of course, could be a whole nother video, but since I'm purposely still being long, I'll share this. The truth is we all have enough time. As many times as I feel time pressure between the things that I have established as my personal, professional priorities in life, or financial realities and other things, the reality is we still all have enough time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a year. That does not change. That is the constant in the equation. So then what are the variables that make some people wildly successful and others not? I know there's areas in my life where I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and I still got a lot to accomplish. I'm a half a century old. Been building this business for 19 years. I accomplished a lot. I feel good about how far I've been able to take our family tree from. I was raised on a pig farm by a father with a 6th grade education and a very, very meager existence. And I was the first person in my family to go to college, and certainly the first one to be an entrepreneur and have a business. So blessing after blessing after blessing, and I am grateful. None of this is meant to brag at all. In fact, it was really a caveat to this. I am nowhere near satisfied. I have so much more that I want to accomplish for this business, for my family, for our finance, and for the hundreds of students that we already have and the thousands that I hope to empower one day. And again, if you have listened all the way to the end of this video and taken your time, invested time in your busy day, number one, I'm grateful. Number two, I hope that it has had some value to you. And number three, I sure would love to hear from you in one way or another. Listen, something I've never done before is ask people to actually subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you have derived any value in this, please make sure to subscribe to this string. You can also find me and my organization on Facebook, on Instagram, as Krav Maga Martial Arts or Tampa Krav Maga. And we're Krav Maga Martial Arts on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure we're Tampa Krav Maga on Instagram. You can also find us on the website at tampakravmaga.com. And at any rate, I just love to stay in contact with you. I would love to hear something about how you're going to apply this, and hear about your fight, your endeavor, your challenge, your goals, your decisions, actions you're taking, and how you're looking to develop. Hey, we'd love, of course, to be a part of helping you with some of this, because contrary to popular belief, what we do here at Krav Maga Martial Arts is not only about punching and kicking. It's not only about fitness, though we help people get in shape. It's not only about self-defense, while I believe we teach the most practical self-defense in the world. But more than anything, I believe that it's about leadership. I believe that we truly do empower people's lives through martial arts. And for kids, that includes confidence and focus and discipline and courtesy and respect. And for adults, it includes fitness and stress relief and realistic self-protection. And for all of us, it includes leadership of our own lives. It includes developing positive mental attitude. It includes being massive action taker. It includes being amongst a community of peers going in the same direction, properly aligned, like yesterday's message was about. Look forward to hearing from you. Look forward to meeting you, and we'll see you again soon.